if anything is even happen, I think 2022, for me at least, is going to be the year of either change, and that can be either as far as MWO gets actual adjustments and actual development, or it doesn't. And I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time, and I've talked about this very honestly, I'm starting to shift, and 2022 is the year of that. If it doesn't happen, I'm moving on, man. I'm not going to wait around and just let the door hit me on the ass, you know? So you have 3 staff members, Mark Nicholson, Francois. Mark is the 3D artist for MWO. Francois, who's the map designer, and Indy, who's a designer who they just brought in. I haven't met him yet. I have heard him talk on the Cauldron meetings and stuff. And then, so you have 3 dedicated staff towards MWO. And then on the other hand, you have Matt Newman, Darren Katz, and Nico that are other 3 members of the MWO team. But these 3 are split between Mech 5 and other stuff. I don't know for certain if they are involved in this other IP being developed by PGI. I'm not sure. So when people ask me, you know, whether it's balance, anything, like as far as MWO is concerned, new player support packs on Steam, all this information, they just don't have resources. They don't have people. They don't have, like, that's the kicker with all of this entire conversation is like, and that's where I feel like the real news is like when all this initiative started back in September of 2020, right? Yeah, 2020. That's when November, right? September of 2020 is when Darren came back, and we did the podcast with Russ, and they said, hey, we're going to reinvigorate MWO, and they've done a lot. But here's the kicker: like Russ is, I on the outside, at least to me, how I viewed it is, he basically said, here, Matt and Darren, with the resources that you have, make the game better. And they have. Obviously, they've been working with Cauldron and stuff. That's great. But here we are in, you know, about to hit 2022, and they have no engineers. We haven't heard anything about Koku. We were supposed to get a devlog 3 weeks ago on Friday. This Friday, right? This Friday, the first Friday of November, will be 4 weeks since we were supposed to get a devlog video. 4 weeks. I'm just calling it what it is. I'm just stating facts. This isn't me like being hyperbolic. This isn't me exaggerating. This isn't me pitching a fork or any, like pitching a fit. This is just me stating facts. Like, I've always been of the opinion that all of this could have been sped up dramatically, and we could have actually had real changes if they would have given them more people from the start, you know, like, and so I don't know. The answer is when are they going to improve, you know, especially when it comes down to, you've heard Darren say like, hey, I want to improve the packs, right? Packs make them more money, right? But here we are, and we haven't seen any store updates except for the bundles. The bundles are improved, but we haven't seen any Steam edition packs. We haven't, again, we're now going since the second DLC, and really it's been since the first, we're going 3 months now with no communication from PGI as far as MWO, really, except outside of patch notes, right? And I bring that up because, you know, you guys remember that day that me and Naveed were talking, or Magic, I don't remember who it was. And, you know, Matt Newman hopped on my stream and basically told me I have a glass half full. I need to be more patient and stuff like that. And then admitted that they dropped the ball in communication. And then guess what? It's been now another month with no communication. And so I don't know what else to say or do, like I said, when it comes to this. But I have people like yourselves who come into the channel every single day and they ask, hey, what about this? What about that? You know? So my olive branch to PGI, and I've said this, and I've been very clear, I've offered my services to PGI. If just like the town hall, if they would like, I would happily do a podcast Or if they want to use my services, I would happily create a video once a month of just sort of sitting down. Hey, what's going on? Give us an update, whatever. And a more official, you know, stuff like that. But I haven't heard anything. You know, and I believe that the this game has potential to live on for a few more years. But it doesn't if it doesn't get any substantial updates. If it doesn't get any PSR matchmaking work, if it doesn't update some type of group, like outside of just quick play, something for groups to do, whether it's a rework of faction play, if it's a rework of Solaris and so forth, if there's no substance to what they're doing, all, you know, the Cauldron can only do so much balance as far as quirks and weapons, and it's already slowing down. I suspect that's going to continue to slow down. They can only do so much. So yeah, I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know. I don't know. And I do not envy the MWO team right now, because I think they're doing a great job. I think those 6 individuals I talked about, 5, because I actually don't know what Nico does, and 4, to be honest, because I actually don't know what this new indie guy does. But let's just say he's helping. He's helping. I honestly believe if Matt and Darren could snap their fingers and have resources, we'd have had so much more done. So, but the kicker about all this is we don't know PGI's long-term plans. We don't know what those long-term plans for MWO are. We don't know what for Mech 5, and we don't know what this new IP is. I don't know who's making decisions for Mech 5. I don't know. We don't know anything. We don't know if EG7 has a bigger role here, and they're not guys. They're not going to be open with if they have a directive to like just move on. We're never going to be told that. You wouldn't tell your client base like, hey, just FYI, like we're just stringing this out to you guys enjoy the game, you play, you buy the things, and we'll keep the, you know, like. But as of right now, I have no idea. I don't have an answer outside of that, and it sucks because you know. So the state of MWO right now is questionable. And that's just because of resources. When I see resources, basically it's people, and people are hired by money, right? So how serious are they? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about, right? We're waiting for Koku, right? All this stuff, this third-party developer, the X factor that we don't know. I don't consider mech packs content. I don't consider these, no, they're sales. That's all it is. I don't consider these new Predator pack, I don't consider that content. Content right now, the only content, and I'm gonna be very clear, the only content that I've seen in the last actual content is the map changes. That's content. But we haven't seen any game mode adjustments. We haven't seen anything to faction play. We haven't seen anything to matchmaker PSR. And based off of those graphs that we were just looking at a few days ago, when Soup Q happened, there was a dramatic shift in KD and win-loss of weight classes as well. If you haven't seen those Magic came in and shared those. Super, super like illuminating, because you're like, oh wow, what happened on that date? And you're like, oh, that's when Soup Q happened. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the future is for MWO. I don't know what it is for Mech 5. Obviously, there's been no communication as far as Mech 5. And like, as far as like, I have no idea who's calling the shots. Like, hey, what do the players want? There's been no polls. There's no forum. You know, it's like MWO forums. That's the Mech 5 forums. So I think it's pretty much just, you know, I have no idea. I have no idea. There's nothing with something. We haven't seen skill tree. Skill tree is a huge problem, right? But game modes, you know, PSR matchmaker. I think PSR matchmaker is the biggest issue on a day-to-day basis for players that come into the game, like you and I. Those are the biggest things that are in your face. Now, it may be subtle, and again, a lot of it comes down to player numbers. I don't think rescale is important as far as that's concerned. I do think it would help balance dramatically, but as far as the biggest factors are PSR and matchmaker. And then I would say the lack of game mode changes, adjustments. I mean, we still have Incursion. That game mode can go. There's some cool ideas in Incursion, and I think if you replace faction play with a new type of group queue, if you will, a group system where there's respawns and stuff like that, you could basically get the attention of all the faction play people that are currently enjoy really that. But right now, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. And here we are on the fourth week, where the last time, and not to put any pressure on his plate, because I feel like they work their asses off, but Darren and Matt, I don't envy their positions right now, because if that's your job and you basically know you're not getting any resources from now you're dealing with speculation all through November, all through December, into January. And we know how January works too, by the way. January, when PGI goes on vacation, which they will in Christmas and New Year's, they usually don't really kick anything off. January is usually a month, and it's usually February, March before we really see anything. So buckle in for the next 4 months, guys, because I honestly don't think, if anything is even happen, I think 2022, for me at least, is going to be the year of either change, and that can be either as far as MWO gets actual adjustments and actual development, or it doesn't. And I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time, and I've talked about this very honestly, I'm starting to shift, and 2022 is the year of that. If it doesn't happen, I'm moving on, man. I'm not going to wait around and just let the door hit me on the ass, you know? So there's that. Because I'm doing my part. I'm buying the packs, right? Obviously, I've got a little bit different perspective, right? I'm buying the packs so I can showcase to you, like, hey, do you want the Warden pack? Don't buy it yet. Let me play it in front of you. Then you can make an informed decision, right? So I see value in that, right? Like, I'll drop the $20. You don't have to right now if you don't want to. But we're here. And we haven't seen Russ. We haven't heard anything from him since that September. And, you know, some of the language, I do look back. I think it was very disingenuous, you know, to use keywords like that, like melee, when he knew it was never going to happen in MWO. I don't like that he brought up MWO 2.0 when, in my opinion, he already had his mind made up. Basically, he said these things to garner hype, and dude, that was some strings pulled that I wish he wouldn't have done. I don't blame the man, but you know, like that, he knew that wasn't true, right? Anyways, as far as MWO is concerned, I think 2022 is the year. It's either going to happen or it's not. And if it doesn't happen, I think a lot of people are going to be moving on. And on top of that, these are your most dedicated fans, right? And you know, it is what it is, as someone might say. That's right.